All right, guys. Well, I asked the chat, and you guys voted. 57% of the people wanted to watch this video about Andrew Tate and with Hassan basically narrating it. So, yeah, sure. Let's do it. This is called Andrew Tate is a Monster.
New updates on Andrew Tate just came out. This Crabman guy is kind of funny. Because he's like a right-wing guy who just despises Andrew Tate and has been like calling out all the other right-wing guys. He's made like a massive thread on this. He's one of those dudes who's like actually like, yo, this stuff is like unacceptable. Like I'm a conservative. No. He's like a right-wing guy who's upset because he genuinely has like right-wing opinions and is not one of those like, oh, I don't give a fuck whoever you are as long as you say the right things. I'm going to support you. He's one of those guys. He's like I'm actually right-wing. What the fuck? You guys are like hanging out with like a person who is openly admitted to sex trafficking. That's kind of unacceptable. Does that make sense? Like a never Trumper, but a never Tater, I guess.
Never Tater. I prefer tater tots sometimes from Sonic.
Anyway, I've watched a lot of his posts. Like he has been very consistently up Andrew Tate's ass, and I do actually appreciate his coverage on the matter. He's done a good job on this, okay? But here, let's start with the updates from yesterday. The defense of the Tate brothers is that they have children. In his appeal, lawyer Eugene.
How many children do they have? Somebody said they had like 10 kids. There's no way he's a good father having that many kids with most likely not the same woman. There's just no way.
And Vidinayak said both the Tate brothers have small children in Romania and they should be freed to care for them. So that was what they were talking about. Remember, we made a joke about it. We're saying like, or Coffee's made a really funny joke about it, stating that the children in mention was Aiden Ross and Sneeko.
True. Very true. They definitely need taken care of. How many children do they have?
So this was like a random account, I guess. Haven't been friends with for years. I can say they're respectful, kind, charismatic, and considered human beings. 400 followers, 18,000 likes.
They said they're kind, charismatic. Wait, having been friends for a few years, I can say this. Who's this from? Whatever. They are respectful, kind, charismatic, considerate human beings. I have been to their house and traveled with the Tates. The Tates were a pleasure to be around. Big personalities. I don't know. You know what's really interesting? I came across this short, and I'll go find it real quick. Of Tim Dillon. You guys know who that is? He's the fat guy. He's funny. And he said something that actually bothered me. And I was like, I don't know if I wanted to talk about it, but I saved it in case I did. And now that's relevant. I could play it. And here's the clip here.
There's only one person there to really interview, and it was Andrew Tate. So I went to his house, and he's a lovely guy. Here's the thing about him and his brother. They are lovely people, whether they're human traffickers or not. I'm not for human trafficking, but they took us out for a steak dinner, and there was women there, and a lot of the women were quiet. And I thought they were just quiet. That would be my story. If I'm called to testify, I would go, the women were quiet, and they were obedient, but...
Really?
Yeah, it was, but it's Eastern Europe, Joe.
Right.
That's kind of the way they act. And coming from America, it was a little bit of a nice change of pace.
We stunned.
No, I mean, coming from it was nice. Yeah.
I know he's like half kidding, but there's like obviously a level of truth that he like. First of all, that he thinks this is funny. It's not funny that these women just didn't speak up. You might say, oh, they're just quiet, and then he goes, it's Eastern Europe. He's heavily insinuating that these women are just not equal and they don't have the ability to speak, or else they're going to be punished in some capacity. You know what I mean? Like, it's a scummy fucking thing from Tim Dillon. It's fine to make jokes, I get it, but it sounds like he actually it's like, oh yeah, I'm happy. Like, we understand jokes are funny. We also understand people use jokes to like drive particular narratives. This is like kind of just gross. Made me lose respect for Tim Dillon a little bit. Oh, it's Eastern Europe. That's just the way. Like, I understand that is the way it is, but like, and you can't do anything about it when you're there. But it's like a red flag for a woman to just not be talking. So like, this is very revealing to me that like he's going out of his way to be like positively charitable. It's annoying. It's like just childish, like bullshit, fucking like baby behavior. It's not real man behavior. Oh, this is nice. It's not nice when women talking is annoying. Yeah, it can be, but like that, but that's okay because they exist. You don't think that's what he's saying? Well, you're just wrong. I don't know what to tell you. It's pretty explicit. It's annoying. It's childish. It's kind of nice. They were lovely people. You don't describe people like if women aren't comfortable speaking around you, you're not a lovely person. I don't know if you. I don't know what to tell you. Of course, it's all the guys that are like, I think he's joking. I wouldn't take him seriously, dude. Comedy isn't just like a thing that exists and nobody's serious. Like, comedy is oftentimes people use jokes to like, say a message. So maybe he goes, I'm just joking around afterwards. Sounds pretty serious to me.
That's crazy. Footage has emerged of Andrew and Tish and Tate arriving at an appeals court yesterday. So this happened. This happened yesterday. He brought a Quran out. New info: whatever medical problem Andrew Tate had yet to get checked out is reportedly lung related. I mean, he does smoke a lot of gars,
Hopefully he just okay.
So smoking a lot of lung darts. Big update. Tate brothers appeal rejected by the judge in Romania.
He's probably just trying to get out of jail somehow by playing some fucking angle.
By the way, they are remaining in custody for the full 30 days. Brothers Andrew and
They obviously have to, like, because they're a flight risk. They're fucking millionaires. They can just fly out of the country.
Tristan Tate remain in custody. The Bucharest Court of Appeal rejected the appeals of the preventative arrest, and the lawyer says, "I'm very disappointed. The measure seems excessive to me." Anyway, go.
And it's not. It's not excessive enough. They should be held for even longer. The second that they get out, they're going to take a fucking private jet and leave.
Goes back to like talking about his confessions. Bad translation, but money and religion are a part of the investigation. Andrew Tate's conversion to Islam to the attention of the U.S. authorities. DICOP prosecutors are looking at 19 countries for accounts where Tate brothers allegedly stashed their money. Wait, what? So he didn't do it for clout. He did it for like what? No, I think this guy's just hyper focusing on the Quran thing because he's like, again, Islamophobic conservative. Oh, moreover, the major interest in the U.S. would be related to the conversion of Andrew Tate to Islam.
I don't know how like him being part of Islam would be relevant to it, but maybe there's an angle that he's playing there.
November 2021, and the investigations will be channeled towards his possible links with terrorist groups. Wait, what? This article is insane, bro. What? Because he converted to Islam?
Well, I remember a Turkey Tom video from a while back talking about how Andrew Tate bragged about like helping the gangs money launder. So maybe there is some truth there. This was an older Turkey Tom video though.
He's actually a part of terror cells? What the fuck? Bro, what are they doing in Romania? Yo, this is the type of article you would read in like 2002 in the New York Times, okay? Like 2002, 2003, the New York Times would write an article like this. It'd be like, oh, well, you know, what was it, Homeland? Wasn't that the show? The guy, the Manchurian Candidate guy who was like, you know, he's Muslim. Watch out, guys. Like that kind of thing. Is it because the Taliban were saying Tate should be like, oh, yeah, those guys are like fucking memeing, dude. What kind of connection does the Taliban have to this guy?
Well, he did run defense for the Taliban, stripping women's right to fucking go to university, so they like him a lot.
He is an e-pimp. What are we doing here? He would be whipped to death in Afghanistan for his crimes. What the fuck are you talking about? Like a couple young groiped up Taliban members going on a fucking Twitter space alongside a bunch of other people LARPing as Taliban members does not necessarily change like the structure of the Taliban, okay? I've seen Muslims argue that he doesn't operate the cam girl business anymore and that since it was before his conversion, it means nothing. Yeah, well, hey, guess what, dude? Being a dumbass.
Oh, yeah, you could just hear the audio. Sorry. Let me put the videos out for a little bit. I didn't even realize it. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. You were hearing the audio just for a little bit. My bad.
A lot of Muslims can also be dumbasses, okay? If you live in a MENA country, if you live in a fucking Muslim nation, you already know some of these dumb motherfuckers, okay? It's just the same as like, you know, Christian dumbasses. Vice just came out with WhatsApp messages and voice notes sent by Andrew Tate to a woman who accused him of a 2013 rape, including a message from Tate that said, "I love R-wording you." She said authorities have declined to prosecute. Dude, that is crazy. In England, you can just like literally have footage, have text message communications, have back and forth conversations, and even a rape kit. And the British authorities be like, "Oh, just having a bit of mint shanking. It's consensual, yeah." What the fuck's going on in England, man? The police there, there's nothing that will get them to call rape, okay? Just a bit of banter. It's a day in the life.
What the fuck is happening? This is like... Okay.
For the true Brexit geezer, right? What the fuck is this? What is happening in this fucking country, dog? She was...
What is he referring to? I don't know what he's...
16 is the fucking age of consent, lads. In 2015, controversial alpha male influencer Andrew Tate was...
I just find it kind of like weird because I feel like that's probably not true. Mostly because, again, Andrew Tate moved to Romania to escape like the, you know, Me Too movement and whatnot. So I just don't know where Hassan's getting this from.
Arrested over an allegation of rape in the UK following complaint from a woman who supplied the police with messages sent by Tate in which he wrote, "I love R-wording you." Vice World News reported earlier this month that Tate was arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and physical abuse in 2015. In 2019, the CPS declined to pursue charges against Tate for any of these allegations. The woman who...
Oh, maybe he's referring to that. I watched the Vice thing. I did watch that Vice thing, and I was going to release it, but Vice shut my stream down while I was streaming it. I finished it, but they still shut it down after, and then they DMCA'd the fuck out of it. So I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother posting this. So
supplied the police with messages sent by Tate said the police told her charges were not brought because there was an ounce of doubt in the case. Among the dozens of messages and voice notes received by Vice World News that Tate sent the woman is a voice note in which he appears to admit to raping her, saying, "Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. It turned me on. Why am I like that? Why?" The woman who we'll refer to as Amelia is the third woman to reveal to Vice World News that they had filed police complaints alleging sexual or physical abuse by Tate, an American British social media influencer and a former professional kickboxer who was arrested in Romania last month as part of a separate rape and human trafficking investigation. This is like the SpongeBob meme, you know what I mean? I know this is like such a serious topic and you know, turning it into like lighthearted commentary is like crazy, but it's like fucking literally, what is it? Like when you're the Patrick meme where it's like fucking you're showing Patrick the thing, the wallet.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got a Patrick hat on. Look at that, guys. We're completing the meme. We're completing the meme.
It's like, dude, how many fucking instances will it take for a tater tot to comprehend that this guy is no good? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's like, what the fuck is this? These voice notes were sent by Andrew Tate over a period of time to a woman accused him of rape. She reported the allegations to the police, but the prosecutors declined to prosecute.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it.
I mean, listen, I understand that kinks exist, right? But that's, I feel like that's probably a bit more than just a kink. Like, actively not liking it. Like, listen, I think that it's somewhat normal-ish for couples to engage in, like, what's called CNC, like consensual non-consent. But, like, when my wife and I, not to get too into it, do stuff like that, heard if she ever expressed that she didn't like it, I'd be instantly turned off. Like, it's like a fantasy, not like actually literally not enjoying somebody doing it. That's fucking predatory. That's insane.
Turn me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out.
Wow, it sounds like this woman definitely did not want it. What the fuck?
Jesus.
This woman like very clearly just doesn't want what's happening. What the hell? This is disgusting. How could the Tate supporters defend this? Like, I'd love to hear it. How do you defend this one?
Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
That's insane. Like, that is the holy fuck. So British authorities saw that and were like, no, he's all right. That's crazy. Just a bit of banter. Okay, got it. What the
I didn't realize that was part of that. They didn't bring that clip up, but
fuck? What needs to happen for British police to be like, okay, I guess that's like, non-consensual. Which, ironic, by the way,
I mean, it's expressed that she didn't like it, and she was expressing that she didn't like it. Like, it's very explicit that she did not want what was happening. Like, there's no way to interpret that, like, in any level of charitability towards Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate was able to avoid sexual assault charges in the UK, but even then, it wasn't enough for him because, and these are not my words, this is not my assessment, these are his words, he moved to Romania because they were even more lax in Romania about.
Yeah, the Me Too movement wasn't as prevalent, and he could engage in, like, using his money to engage in government corruption, and yet here we are.
Sexual assault. Remember that. That's what he said. He literally said he went to Romania to avoid the strict sexual.
Yeah, he's the most dangerous man on earth. I gotta be careful.
Assault standards they have in the UK, which is ironic because now he's in fucking Romanian prison. Turns out the Romanian sexual assault investigation is a little bit more serious than the fucking Oibrovs, dude. Holy shit. That's crazy to me. That, like, UK police literally was just like, yeah, see nothing wrong there.
Not surprised, because this was like, what, 10-ish years ago? I mean, like, this was like right before the Me Too movement, so I'm really not surprised that there was nothing that happened. Now we're in a different time, in a good way, where this is being taken more seriously.
Lads, I see nothing wrong there, lads. We don't care. What
fucking accent, it's just so bad. It's not even funny, but it's giving me a job.
What you fucking mean, then? Just a little bit of banter.
I'm pretty sure that he's trying to get, like, his voice on, like, a video game or something at this point. Like, Hassan's just desperate. Hassan's just trying to go viral. He's trying to be in, like, the next indie game.
JPB on Tate. Gaston or the Redeemable Beast? I stand for the latter, and so do the wise beauties.
Gaston or the Redeemable Beast? I stand for the latter, and so do the wise beauties? What does that mean, Jordan? Who's Gaston? Because Andrew Tate is Gaston. Right? Andrew Tate is Gaston. Gaston's a rapist. Well, Gaston's a fuckboy. Maybe not a rapist, but Gaston's a kind of a scumbag. Is he calling Andrew Tate the Beast? No, he would be he would be Gaston. The Beast is like the ugly, disfigured, cursed asshole. Gaston is like the fucking fuckboy that, manipulates women through the lover boy complex to try to get them to be a prostitute for him. But okay.
I mean, this is January. Wait, he tweeted this today? Bro, that's not real, right? You're fucking joking, right? That's crazy.
What did he mean by this? I just feel like Jordan Peter, if Jordan, I don't know, bro. What did Jordan mean by that? There's no more charitability left for Jordan. Unless he's calling him the fucking Gaston. When did he post this? Is this like yesterday?
There is no way this is real. Oh my God, it's real. He posted this. Oh my God. Holy shit. I mean, listen, motherfucker. Everyone is redeemable, okay? Everyone. That is...
well, no, not incorrect. I disagree. I don't think everybody's redeemable. I don't think that everybody can. There are definitely things you can be redeemed from. And I think that, like, socially, there's probably more things that you could be redeemed from than people will say. But not everybody is redeemable. Like, for instance, if you murder somebody, like, actively, not like not like manslaughter or whatever, like, I don't think that there's any redemption that's possible safely. Shit like that, you know.
The heart of rehabilitation, having
if you engage in like sex trafficking and like compare your relationship with your webcam models to a relationship that prostitutes and pimps engage in, then you're not redeemable. Trying to find this
rehabilitative approach to justice. But like, you pick and choose, okay? You're picking and choosing when you think rehabilitation is achievable, and why you think rehabilitation is achievable for a particular person. For you, Jordan Peterson, is very clearly motivated by how right-wing they are. This dude is curious as to why his license is being questioned. Yeah, it's like insane. I thought he fucked his daughter. Yeah.
When did he post this? January 11th? Like yesterday.
I thought like Andrew Tate actually fucked Michaela Peterson, but she claims that that's not real. Let's get back to the voice memos, right? So Amelia is the third woman to reveal.
I'm looking on here just to try to find him, but it looks like he untweeted that or something. He got rid of it. Oh no, it's right here. Gaston or the redeemable beast. I stand for the latter, and so do the wise beauties. Interesting. Okay, let's continue.
The Vice World News that they had filed police complaints alleging sexual or physical abuse by Tate, an American British social media influencer, former professional kickboxer, was arrested in Romania last month as a part of a separate rape and human trafficking investigation. We are withholding the woman's identity as an alleged victim of sexual offenses and to prevent harassment by trolling by Tate's supporters. Two other women, one of whom says she was raped and the other whom says she was repeatedly strangled, went public with their experiences last week. They revealed that their initial complaints in 2015 to Hertfordshire police took 4 years to pass the case to prosecutors, who then declined to prosecute. Nice. Amelia, who to this day does not know the identities of the other women, had her complaint handled as a part of the same investigation before CPS told the women in 2019 that there was no realistic prospect of a conviction. Amelia's experiences from the alleged rape in 2013 to learning that Tate would not be prosecuted to then watching him become one of the most famous people on the planet have left her feeling as though she is struggling every day, but she felt...
Yeah, I could see that. Jesus.
Felt emboldened to go public with her story after seeing two other complainants speak out. She said she no longer wanted to live in fear of Tate and that she felt she had a duty to tell her story to potentially prevent other women from being hurt. Amelia said that she and Tate had been acquainted.
What if you murder somebody who abused you your whole life? Yeah, you're redeemable. I think you knew that. That was my take. Thank you.
Since 2009, the relationship turned romantic for the first time in 2013 after they bumped into each other and reconnected on a night out. That rape, she said, happened in November 2013, the first time Amelia went to Tate's flat after they had been dating for 2 or 3 weeks. She said the pair had previously kissed, but nothing more. Back then, he knew this. I'd only been with 2 people, she said. He knew what that meant to me. That act was very important to me. She said the pair were kissing on Tate's bed when he began trying to take off her clothes. She previously told him she said that she didn't want to have sex. He stopped, reassured her that nothing was going to happen, and that they continued kissing. After a while, she said he suddenly stopped and laid back on the bed. I got up and looked at him and went, "What's wrong?" She said this guy literally laid there and went, "Holy fuck. I'm just debating whether I should R-word you or not." Amelia said she was stunned, unsure if it was just some sort of sick joke. She said she put her hand on his chest and said, "Don't be stupid, what are you talking about?" Within an instant, he changed who he was, she said. It wasn't the same Andrew that I knew that was funny, that would make me laugh. It was like in his eyes, his eyes went, and I didn't have a clue who that person was. Suddenly, she said, Tate grabbed her neck and started strangling me, forcing my trousers off me. I was trying to keep them on, and he started screaming at me, "Take the fucking trousers off, bitch." The sudden outburst of violence from Tate, who was at the time a professional kickboxer, made Amelia feel powerless to fight back and fearful of how far the assault would go. Dude, this makes me angry at Andrew Tate's existence.
I mean, listen, guys. They're all just allegations. But I 100% believe that happened. So, just based on the way that Andrew Tate acts. We're not just talking about some random fucking person. I'm sure I would not. I guarantee this is all real. I'd put my fucking life on it, honestly. So...
This makes me angry at, like, the fact that he has so many fucking fans who love him and adore him.
Well, most of the people are just going to be like, yeah, that probably didn't really happen. It's like, you know, this is like the 17th allegation just in general of example of, or this is like the 50th example of being a fucking shit scum person. But that's probably not real.
I'm not even kidding. The real monster in this story, and Andrew Tate is the monster here, obviously, but even a bigger monster exists. And that is the British fucking police. Holy shit, dude. The fact that, like, this was the witness testimony. The fact that this...
It's interesting because when I watched the Vice article, none of this had come up. Like I watched that Vice video and they didn't mention any of this. So and I could be wrong, but I wonder if this was anything that was submitted. Was this stuff that was actually submitted to them? Because I wonder why the Vice the Vice video didn't mention any of this. But maybe I just misremembering it.
This person also turned over records from WhatsApp of Andrew Tate confessing to his
I guess maybe I'm just fucking wrong then. That's weird. I thought, why wouldn't that Vice video have like a little bit more comprehensiveness to it? That's interesting.
actions. And then the British police still fucking choosing not to prosecute this is unimaginable, dude. I'm losing my fucking mind. Like, because you expect Andrew Tate to be a piece of shit. You expect him to be the villain of the story. But like, there are still plenty of people on this planet that think cops are supposed to be the good guys. They're supposed to defend you.
Well, they are supposed to be the good guys. They are.
This is literally part of the fucking, this is part of the job. This is it. This is the one job. This is the job that you have to do, which is solve crimes. This is a crime.
I guess this is more like the prosecutor's issue. I guess you'd consider that in the cop sphere, but he's not wrong. Yeah,
It's tough
sure.
since it's her word against his. No, as a matter of fact, it's not tough. First of all,
Well, apparently they have a bunch of fucking messages, so it's not really his word against anybody.
you think that that's tough. That's a you situation. But it's not just that. In so many of these instances, it's not just like a third party being like, this person is a bad guy. It's literally first party accounts, sometimes eyewitness testimony that is like corroborating the actual events that unfolded. And then also, and guess what? This is a really rare one, an admission from the perpetrator. That's it. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you see an admission from the perpetrator and you go, I can't get my mind around the fact that this guy who admitted to raping this person raped this person. Well, he admitted it. What the fuck is wrong with you? At that point, you're not writing for Andrew Tate. You're just writing for rape, okay? You're not even a stan of Andrew Tate at that point. You're just a stan of rape. You're like, I'm a fan, and I'm defending the integrity of the concept of raping. That's what you're doing. It's madness, dude. It's fucking crazy. This motherfucker admitted to doing this thing on a voice message, and you still go, oh, it's a he said, she said situation. No, it's literally a he said, he admitted situation, okay? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's bleak. That's scary. That's what the fuck. It's like walking into a precinct with a person stuck to your body because they shoved a knife into you. You hold on to the person and you carry them over to the precinct, and the cops are like, so what happened to you exactly? And the guy who has the knife in you goes, I stabbed him. And the cops go, I guess we just simply cannot solve this fucking crime. You're free to go. It's insane. If that level of evidence is not enough to at least start a fucking investigation, then there is no amount of evidence that will cause you to get this investigation going. You are just not interested in solving sex crimes. That's it. That's it. You as a cop, whoever the fucking prosecutors were, whoever the cops were that were handling this situation, are just not interested in solving sex crimes, which is, of course, ironic because, again, this isn't just anecdotal. There was a widespread study conducted in England and also Wales that showed that I'm right. They refused to prosecute sex crimes in England for like years.
Is that true? Why? What was there? I guess I'll try to look into that.
They did. That's it. They just don't. They just don't cover it. They don't prosecute it. They don't investigate it. And they victim blame throughout the entire process. I've never been strangled before. I don't know if he's going to stop. And I was so scared she told Vice World News. It's like whenever you think about being in that situation, you think you're going to fight back. But I'm telling you, you don't. Because if you fight back, what else is he going to do to you? He's 6'3", champion kickboxer, for God's sake. Tate then raped.
That's true. There's really nothing. I mean, he's fucking rich, famous, and he's physically very strong. Let's see. Rape is. Oh, sorry. I'm looking up an article right now. Rape has always been a difficult crime to prove, and criminal justice system has now reached crisis point year ending to March 2020. 99% of rapes reported to police in England and Wales resulted in no legal proceeding against the attackers. The alleged attackers, with convictions at its lowest level on record, we face an uncomfortable question. Interesting. I guess this is what we're talking about. Wow.
Raped her, Amelia said. As he did, she said, he continued to choke her, saying things like, who do you belong to? Even if she was unable to physically speak due to his hands constricting her throat. He's like, fucking say it, bitch. You're not fucking saying my name. Say my fucking name, otherwise I'll kill you. After assaulting
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
her, Amelia said Tate went to sleep with his arm around her while she lay awake for hours trying to process what had just happened.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. That has to be the worst fucking part of that entire thing. I mean, that whole thing is horrible, but like afterwards, he's just like a casual, haha, we just had sex. Like, let me cuddle you. Like, that's fucking... Damn. Jesus Christ, bro.
When she got home the next day,
I wouldn't have blamed her if she stabbed him in the fucking neck with a knife or something, yeah.
she recalls she cried in the bathtub and called a friend who helped spell out to her what had happened to her was rape. The fact that she needed a second party to be like, yeah, that was actually rape that happened to you, is also a product of the patriarchal constructs that we exist under and the sexual violence that is so incredibly fucking normalized. This isn't even like a, oh, did you consent to it? Is it?
Yeah, though this doesn't. There's nothing in here that indicates that there's like any level of nuance where like maybe Tate didn't realize he was being a little too pushy. I mean, this guy just outright raped her. So
Gray? Did I like not actually, consent enthusiastically? You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like that. Even in those circumstances, it's still usually sexual assault. Do not misunderstand me. But like, there is no fucking gray area. It's just literally just straight up, open and shut. This is the textbook example, right, of rape. Is the textbook definition. It's like what literal fucking rapists will kind of point to be like, well, it wasn't like that when they're talking about rape. Do you understand? Because like a lot of people, always, a lot of fucking gross dudes will look to situations and go, well, it's not like they just held you down and fucking said, I'm raping you and rape you, right? Like that's what they use to basically fucking defend other instances.
yeah, like that's the only instance that some people will be like, oh, it's rape only if they explicitly say, I'm going to rape you now and I'm going to hold you down. And this is that instance. So there's really nothing to there's nothing to defend it. So
you know what I mean? Of like, I guess lower forms of sexual assault, even though it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's still sexual assault, but it's like a lower version of that. Like if we're looking at this like weird hierarchy of rape, there's like the rape at the top. I guess of like a random stranger, what you would see in like the movies. Random stranger sees you in a fucking dark alleyway, starts raping you. That is like at the high. That's at the height. The most common version of that also is the one rung above that, which is like a person that you know, but is doing the hold you down and brutally rape you. Okay, if we're doing a tier list of that, like this is at the peak. Okay, even then, it's just still not enough for so many people. Vice World News has spoken to a friend who confirmed the details of the conversation. We are not naming her to protect her and Amelia's identities. Amelia said that for a very long time she was in denial about the alleged rape, feeling that acknowledging it happened would negatively define her. To this day, she struggles to even use what she refers to as the R word. It's like, if this R word is what happened to me, then that's what I am. She continued to see him for a number of
yeah, it's sad, man. Fuck.
months afterwards, including having consensual sex. This was partly, she said, to buttress her denial response to the alleged assault at the time.
Hold on a second.
Friend who confirmed the details of the conversation. We are not naming her to protect her and Amelia's identities. Amelia said that for a very long time she was in denial about the alleged rape, feeling that acknowledging it happened would negatively define her. To this day, she struggles to even use what she refers to as the R word. It's like, if this R word is what happened to me, then that's what I am. She continued to see him for a number of months afterwards, including having consensual sex. This was partly, she said, to buttress her denial response to the alleged assault at the time.
Yeah, for sure. So this is, I wanted to make sure I heard that clearly before I talked about it. But yeah, man. So I know a lot of people will instantly go like, oh, see, she kept fucking him afterwards, so it must not have been rape. It's really not uncommon for women or people to be sexually assaulted, not really understand what happened to them or process it in such a fucked up way, and then just keep seeing the person and rationalize it a bunch of different ways while usually blaming themselves. Like, oh, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I did this. Maybe I did that. Maybe it is my fault. Like maybe I should still date the guy. He's not that bad of a guy, like he because like even she said in her thing, she was like, he changed from being a nice guy to like snapped and like raped her. Maybe, and like part of her process might have been to be like, yeah, well, he was nice there. So like, maybe what did I like? All these ways to rationalize it so that it's your fault, so that like you don't have to come to account with like having a part of you stolen and like some sort of acknowledgement of that. Some fucked up shit. Yeah, man, that's terrible. That's fucking horrible.
If I go and see him again, I want it this time. Then I'm not being degraded. Then it's not the R word, she said.
Yeah, then there's that as well. Like now she gets to do it on her own terms. I'm gonna go have sex with him now because I get to own that, and that's like my decision. And this way, like by association, it was always my decision. Like that's fucked, man. This woman was like fucking traumatized deeply. Jesus Christ.
Explaining her thought process. So that's what I did. I was like, right, I'll see you again. You haven't taken that control out of me. You haven't hurt me. Of course, when they see that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like the same as, again, this is why I said this is like a super common way that rape happens. Sexual assault is not commonly in a fucking dark alleyway by a stranger. Sexual assault is most commonly conducted by people who are close to the person. Boyfriends, partners, husbands. This is how it usually happens. Relatives, okay? Friends. That is the most common instance. That is usually how it happens. It's someone you know. It's not someone you don't fucking know. It's not someone in a dark corner in a dark alleyway, a random stranger. This kind of thing happens regularly with victims of domestic abuse, with victims of domestic violence, with victims of sexual violence. They're traumatized, they don't know how to deal with it, so they continue trucking on as though things are normal and things are good, hoping that like that will give them a sense of autonomy over their conditions. So just understand that. So cops should know that, but they don't.
Well, I'm not surprised cops don't know that because they're fucking dumb. Well, okay. A cop doesn't get the kind of training to have like any deep level of understanding when it comes to sexual assault, which is probably, I mean, frankly, we should probably raise the bar. I understand that we can't have cops get like social workers degrees or anything. That would be That would obviously be a little bit disproportionate, you know, but they should have like a general sense of understanding of sexual assault and different things that they deal with in a much more robust way, because clearly they don't, and that's a huge issue.
Vera Gray, Deputy Director of London Metropolitan University's Child and Women Abuse Studies Unit, said Amelia's actions in the aftermath of the alleged rape were not an uncommon response. The social construction of a woman who has been raped is someone who is weak, who is stupid, who cannot protect herself, and that she is damaged goods.
You know what's sad? I wonder how I would have reacted to this if I heard this in like 2015, which is when I think these allegations came out. Like, I truly wonder. Like, I would hope that I would be like saying the same thing, but I feel like I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I wish I would, but you know what I mean? I wonder if like, just based on the like the lack of understanding of what like shit that's going on, because like we're in a like, yeah, some things are crazy now, but we're in a generally good social atmosphere to have these conversations in a much better, more robust way. And I wonder if I would have been like, well, this happened though, and like excusing it just because of my dumb fucking, you know, lack of understanding of sexual assault. Like, it's unfortunate.
No one wants to identify with that. It makes absolute sense to me, and I'm sure to anybody why you would
I say that because like I wonder, you know, I guess that was probably just more the atmosphere back then. It's unfortunate.
want to do what you can try to reclaim a sense of agency over that narrative. It sounds like that's what she tried to do before she got to a point where she was like, actually, there's no other way to understand this because I've been violated. Amelia said she eventually broke things off with Tate after he invited her to go away together for a weekend for the first time. That was when I woke up. I realized if I spent a whole weekend with him, I might end up in a hospital. It wasn't until 2014, about 6 months after the alleged rape, that Amelia filed a complaint.
Okay, so this, yeah, she filed it in 2014. It's crazy how much we've grown in like the last 8 years, honestly. It's crazy.
With the Bedfordshire police, feeling that she finally had the strength and clarity to do so. But she found the experience extremely demoralizing, she said. At the time, she had only recently accepted what had happened to her after months of denial, was hugely traumatized, and relied on a friend, a different person, than the one she called after the alleged rape to help speak on her behalf as a support person during the interview. At one stage, Amelia said the investigating officer asked her friend whether Amelia had learning difficulties because she had struggled speaking. That made me feel so small.
Christ.
Like, I can't even be emotional.
Jesus, what an asshole. What the fuck?
Amelia recalled. I can't even feel how I'm feeling because you're trying to put me down. This perceived dismissive attitude combined with her trauma and ongoing fear of Tate left her feeling unable to pursue the complaint, and she instead opted to log it, recording the allegation with police to potentially pick up again where she felt stronger. Amelia focused on moving forward with her life, starting a new career, and moving to a new town. But in 2015, and she instead opted to attitude combined with her trauma and ongoing fear of Tate left her feeling unable to pursue the complaint, and she instead opted to log it, recording the allegation with police to potentially pick up again where she felt stronger. Amelia focused on moving forward.
I wonder if that had something to do with it, because she decided not to keep pushing it, which, I mean, the police officer made her feel like less of a person, so that's probably why she wouldn't, but maybe that's why they didn't pursue it in that capacity. That's why you need better police officers that are more empathetic. This is honestly why, like, all jokes aside, we need like more women police officers, frankly. I mean, we could all, oh, women shouldn't be in combat roles, but like, what about these roles? What about when a woman is raped and then they talk to a fucking male police officer who's just a dumb fuck, doesn't understand anything? Like,
with her life, starting a new career, and moving to a new town.
And that makes sense too, man. That's one of the aspects, is like, for people who are like legitimately sexually assaulted, part of their trauma could be coming forward with their trauma, you know? And it's like sometimes them not coming forward or not pursuing is what's best for them. It's like a horrible thing because they've had so much removed from them that just like you're reliving it every time that you go to like the police or do any of these things. It's unfortunate and it's fucked, but you know, sometimes that's the response.
But in 2015, she received
probably not even sometimes, a lot of the times, really,
the call out of the blue from an officer of the neighboring police force, Hertfordshire Police. The officer told her the force was looking into complaints from 2 other women who also had made
only women cops. Come on, what do you mean by that?
Complaints of abuse, including one of rape and another of repeatedly strangling a woman, against Tate, and asked whether Amelia would be happy with her complaint being included in that investigation. These are the same 2 women who went public with their experiences in interviews with Vice World News. I literally broke down and went, yes, I am, recalled Amelia. I felt stronger. I felt like, okay, I'm not alone now. I got 2 other girls. Amelia provided a video statement to the police at the time and handed over her phone. It contained voice notes and messages from Tate, including, according to Amelia, the same messages and voice notes that were reviewed by Vice World News, which appeared to corroborate her account. We've listened to some of those voice notes.
Okay, so these are definitely in the investigation, damn.
These messages include an exchange that took place after an alleged sexual assault and while they were still seeing each other, in which Tate wrote, I love R-wording you and watching you let me, while still debating if it's a good idea or not. Monsters are monsters, he wrote. When you're under my control, I do whatever I please. Another exchange took place after Amelia stopped seeing him. Tate initiated it, sending her an unsolicited video that showed him breaking a baseball bat on his shin and following it up with a voice note saying, I am one of the most dangerous men on the planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Not only is he like a violent, weird, like he's like a violent fucking person, but he's also such a goober. Like he's such a fucking loser. You know what I mean? Like,
so fucking dumb. That's an idiot. Christ.
This is loser shit, bro. You're not an anime villain, dog. You're a bald fucking weirdo. I'm not saying this to undermine the severity of the violent crimes that he has committed against women so frequently, but he's like such a chinless, bald, insecure motherfucker who's like, yeah, I'm a dangerous villain. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You are literally like, you are such an insecure goober. Like, it is mind-boggling to me. He's goofy as fuck.
Champion of the world!
Wait, he sent this to her? This is the video that he sent? Stop. Gotta be a different one, right?
What did he send it to?
To her? This is the video that he sent? Stop. Gotta be.
That reminds me when I was in like the Boy Scouts, and my friends and I used to hit each other with sticks in the legs to see if they would break and who was tougher. That's what that reminds me of.
A different one, right? Because he looks like it's just an even bigger loser. I've never seen someone look like such a fucking loser while, doing a demonstration of strength like this. Holy fuck. When Amelia responded by writing that she wouldn't call it lucky to have been strangled, pinned down, and forced to do something you knew I didn't want to do, Tate sent a voice note saying, am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. He followed up with a voice note asking if
I mean, if he actually gets off to that kind of shit, that means that he is literally looking for women that rape at that point. I mean, if he's enjoying it, that women legitimately don't like it, he's looking for women that don't want it. He's looking to rape women. Like I said, there's a lot of people who enjoy consensual non-consent. They enjoy being with somebody and they like the fantasy. But bro, like, I'll tell you something. Like, the second that, like, if my wife doesn't like something, I'm out of it. Like, it's not even that. For me, it's not even like difficult. I just lose interest if my wife's not enjoying something. You know what I mean? Like, which I think is normal. I think it's a normal thing that people should do. But even if that's not how you feel, you need to control yourself and be like, okay, they don't want this. I have to stop. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
she would like him to pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, and another telling her, you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to you. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Dude, what the fuck? Does he have, like, is he bipolar or something? Like, what is this manic? This is, like, unironically, like, something that, I've heard people in manic states say, okay? It might be just cocaine. I don't know what it is. Like, delusions of grandeur is that is what this is. It's like, I'm the most dangerous motherfucker on the planet. I'm the smartest motherfucker on the planet.
He might be pretty dangerous. That's not something to brag about.
Like, no, you're not.
And he's definitely not the smartest. Daniel Tate is a literal dumb fucking person. That's why 15-year-old boys relate to him so much, because they're also just as intelligent.
You are literally not.
Sorry for shitting on 15-year-old boys, but, come on, guys, you get over it.
A very intelligent person. You are demonstrably not a very smart person. And I say this as someone who is a dumbass, okay? I'm not a very smart person, but at least I'm smart enough to recognize that I'm not a very smart person. And even I was able to fucking destroy this fool, okay? So clearly, he is definitely not a very smart person. He then wrote, "You were my whore when I had my hands on you," before admonishing her in a voice note for being upset about the alleged rape. "Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong?"
Oh, hey, guys, I know I shot at you, but it didn't actually go into your body. It just grazed you. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Relax. Like, what the fuck? What a weirdo. Well, not even a weirdo. What a fucking psychopath. Holy shit.
With you. Hertfordshire police confirmed to Vice World News that Amelia's complaint led to Tate being arrested on suspicion of rape in December 2015. The second time that year he was held, questioned, and then released under investigation following earlier complaints by the two other women. But despite the new allegation from Amelia being added to the investigation, the case moved slowly and police did not pass the case file to the CPS, whose job involves assessing whether there is a realistic prospect of conviction until 2019. That's like 4 years where, he is running free, doing whatever the fuck he wants. It's just so fucking gross. When a delay was identified, action was taken to progress the investigation as quickly as possible. Hertfordshire police has previously acknowledged to Vice World News that it apologized to complainants over the delays in handling the case. Oh, they apologized. It's fine.
Yeah, no big deal. They apologize. So it's okay that they completely mishandled it and took too long.
In late 2019, Amelia was informed by police that the CPS had finally reached a decision. She had said she attended a meeting with a police officer who delivered the news that the CPS has declined to prosecute. Oh, that's so nice. Guys, it took 4 years for them to come up with, yeah, we're not going to fucking prosecute, actually. Thank you for your time.
I wonder why. I wonder if they just felt like they had different things that they would rather focus. It does not a justifier. I just why? What's the excuse that you have all this very solid evidence and you're deciding I don't think we'll prosecute. Like, what happened? Did they just feel like they needed their resources somewhere else? Do they need more? Do they need to refund to the police in England or something? Like, what the fuck?
Rapist roams free. I went to the police officer. "Well, explain to me why you're letting a monster on the street," Amelia said. Amelia said the police officer even apologized for the decision and told her words to the effect of, "It's not that the police don't believe you. It's not that the CPS don't believe you. It's that there's an ounce of doubt in the case."
Like, what's the doubt? What?
Oh, God.
What's the? I mean, I feel like what's the doubt? Like, that's a dumb excuse. If they were like, "We are overworked and underfunded," I'd be like, okay, like, that's still shitty, but at least I can understand that. But what doubt? Like, everything we've seen is what they've had. What's the doubt?
Got it. According to Amelia, the officer said the element of doubt related to the fact that she had consensual sex with Tate in the wake of the alleged sexual assault.
So I think what they're saying is because she consensually had sex with him afterwards, then that means that when she was actually raped, they don't think it's valid. That's the hint of that. Incredible. Thank God they're so fucking stupid. Okay.
And that in sexual assault cases, the CPS was only prepared to prosecute when it felt 100% confident of success because a trial resulting in an acquittal would only further traumatize the complainant. You know what doesn't traumatize?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to sit with that. So what they're saying is that they felt like they wouldn't get him and in the trial, so they didn't want to traumatize them more by having them to go through that entire process. Maybe. If I'm being super duper charitable, okay, maybe. I don't know if I believe that though, but okay, that's their argument.
The complainant, though, letting the rapist go free after conducting a 4-year halt on an investigation and then finally taking 4 years out to say, hey, by the way, we're not prosecuting. It's for your own good, by the way, that we're not prosecuting. That's fucking sick, dude. That's sick. That's cool. I love that. That's great. Thank you. Victims famously love when the person that they are trying to put behind bars so they like fucking stop other people from getting raped. You know, they love when that person is not prosecuted. That's like their favorite thing. Oh, Amelia was left devastated by the decision, which she felt betrayed a lack of understanding of the psychology of abuse.
I'm not laughing. It's funny. It's like this whole fucking situation is crazy, dude.
Of men like Tate. Looking back, she said, exerted emotional control over her through his domineering and manipulative behavior. Tate is facing similar allegations of using physical violence and mental coercion to recruit and groom women into working for his sex webcam business in Romania. I was like, what's your excuse for this justice system? She recalled, no one has been manipulated before. No one's had Stockholm Syndrome before. No one's been abused before. Experts in the field of sexual violence say that the fact that Amelia had consensually slept with Tate again after the alleged rape should not be viewed as somebody undermining her case, somehow undermining her case. The fact that it had been was an indictment of the criminal justice system's handling of sexual assault cases. It shouldn't be seen as a weakness. She said, due to the justice system's flawed approach to rape, which heavily scrutinized the actions of the accuser rather than the accused, the overwhelming majority of cases were never prosecuted because of how they would likely play out in court.
I wonder if they actually I wonder if that's like real or not. Like, I wonder if that was an actual, like, oh, they might not play out well in court. We don't want to put you through that. Or if that was just like a cope. They just didn't give a fuck. Or if they just didn't even believe the girls and they were just like, we don't feel like dealing with this. Oh, damn.
Trigger warning, but it feels mentioning regarding this police force. I know someone that lives in this area this police force covers. They were recently called about their report of rape from 2011 because the offender had reoffended. It was getting charged in 2021 for the third offense, all of rape, and they wanted her testimony to further charge him and put it away for longer. It ruined her entire year mentally going back to what happened to her. Super fucked. 3 over the span. And then like, I feel like you reopen these wounds, right? You're reopening trauma. And then on top of that, you also kind of feel like you're responsible because you didn't do enough. You know what I mean? You were unable to put this person behind bars to like get them to stop from doing the awful thing.
Yeah, like she had moved on. And she probably thought about it occasionally too. And then they called her and they gave her like another hope to be like, oh my God, I can rectify the situation. And she was probably blaming herself too, like, oh, like I should have been able to I should have put him away. I shouldn't have sold it back then. And now they just like robbed that from her. At least give her her chance in court to fucking do something. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That they did to you, and that is another additional compounding factor here. Meanwhile, it's not your fault, and you should not have survivor's guilt. You should not feel bad about this. It is not your fault at all. It is absolutely the fault of the systems that we live under and the fucking police force that is supposed to be doing this. The rest of it is an assessment of the systematic avoidance from UK authorities on behalf of like sexual assault cases, and you already know how this fucking ends out. We covered it before. She said Amelia's story was appalling but unsurprising. In the wake of the 2019 decision by the CPS not to prosecute Tate, Amelia has focused on putting sexual assault behind her, but Tate's rise to global fame sent her recovery backwards. The online abuse of Tate's accusers by his army of supporters was hard to take. Like the 2 other women who filed complaints with police over Tate's alleged abuse, she feels that the failure of police and prosecutors to get justice in their case had allowed Tate to continue what now appears to be a clear pattern of misogynistic and abusive behavior towards women, ultimately leading to his arrest in Romania last month. You know that he is now a God complex, knowing that he can get away from any of this. Tate's arrest in Romania and the decision by her fellow complainants to come forward publicly with their allegations have been the only positive development since her ordeal began, she said, but made her hopeful that Tate would eventually be held accountable for his alleged abuse of women. Now, here is the clip, of course, famously, of Andrew Tate explaining why he moved to Romania. Now, that's the wild part about this, is that like he got away with doing like rape multiple times in the UK and still was like, that's not enough. Like, it's not enough. The fucking demonstrable abject failure of the UK police force in prosecuting Andrew Tate for his sex crimes was not enough for him. He still felt like there was scrutiny. So he was like, I'm going to Romania instead. And if you don't believe me,
Well, it kind of reads to me that like he knew something was going to happen one day and like he was going to get caught. And so he decided to go to Romania for this.
You don't believe me? Listen to the man's words, okay?
This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you're going to go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988, they're going to say we should have done something about it then. If you go to the police and say he raped me yesterday, say, okay, if you got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards and I didn't text back, and now she's saying I raped her. The police will be like, okay, she's an idiot, bye. But no, not in the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story, you're still fucked.
That's not true. That's realistically not true, even in the West. In the West, we just saw how they handle that shit, you know. It's funny because it's not funny, but they didn't give a fuck about what he was doing. They let him go. They didn't prosecute. So clearly that's not true. He probably saw the writing on the wall that he was going to get hit because he actually raped somebody. And since he's some kind of a sociopath, he probably was like, I didn't do anything wrong. But he did. Jesus Christ, man. That's so fucking dumb. It's still difficult to get that shit happening, like to get rape convicted in the Western countries. So this guy's just a fucking idiot, and he knows that he's wrong here. He's just trying to set down like a foundation for all his like really unintelligent followers to be like, yeah, this is true. Sorry for shitting on his followers, but you know, you guys are fucking. Come on, dude. How are you still defending this guy?
You're fucked in the West. People say, why do you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free. And if you're a man living in England or Germany or America or any of the Western world right now, you've decided to live in a country where any woman, any ex, any fucking bitch who works at Greg's who you bought a pasty from, at some point in the future can destroy your life. This Me Too era bullshit has not protected women. It's just destroyed the safety of men.
There you go. You know, forgive me, but every time new information comes out about this Tate guy, I think to myself,
I remember like looking at that like months ago, and I was like, okay, I see where it's fucking crazy. Like I'm embarrassed for the way that I talked about Tate back in the day, bro. I'm embarrassed. Like legitimately fucking embarrassed with myself about like, you know, this whole Andrew Tate thing back then. I mean, based on the information we had back then, it wasn't, you know, all this wasn't out, but fuck, man, looking back, it's just, what a shame. What a scumbag. What a fucking loser. I mean, goddamn. And I remember being like, well, we don't really know. And because we didn't, but still, it's like, fuck. You know? It's like, goddamn, look at where we are now. Hearing that now, that's just a contribute. Like, this guy's fucking sex trafficking people, and he's raping people. And that's just another part of the equation. You know? I should have saw that as a bigger red flag, bro.
he doesn't strike me as a good fellow. Here are some of the shocking new transcripts from the Tate brothers case. Do you want me to be your slave or your wife? I didn't like that the girls called you our king. Here's some evidence presented by the DICOT prosecutors that Tate was behaving in an aggressive, engaging in an aggressive behavior on a regular basis. There, the man who tried to convince her to tattoo his name, as he had done with other girls, told her that she was a slave. Andrew Tate, you need a big clap or my name. Girl, no tattoos, baby. I hate tattoos. I'm cool with people, but not me. Andrew Tate, if I told you to put my name in a tattoo, you would. So you better hope I don't want that, and I don't yet. Girl, so you don't want what I want? Andrew Tate, you want what I want. Girl, then it's good. You don't want me to get a tattoo. Not yet. It would be important to me, but first I need to see that you're worth it. Where's my dinner? Baby, don't talk like that, please. You know I want to make you dinner. Just waiting to get to you. Slave. Girl says, please. Andrew says, belt. Girl says, do you want me to be your slave or your wife? Andrew Tate says, you'll do whatever I tell you, which is the same thing. If I choose a woman to be my wife, she will love me enough to let me tell her what I want. I will decide if she's a slave. Hey, guys, remember when everyone was like, oh, he's just joking, right? He's just joking about this stuff. Well, it turns out he's not fucking joking. Like,
Nah, he's serious about it. It's fucked.
he's just like, straight up, this is how we behave. Which brings us to an impasse. This is the point where we all recognize there are people out there who recognize that this is real and not a joke and go, I fucking like that. You have to accept that you're mine forever no matter what I do, and if you want me to behave more nicely, you will convince me with tenderness. In the context of the discussion, Andrew Tate explained to his slave what the girls he lived will do in the studio. Girl, don't get angry. I'm just curious. I want to know why you brought me here to this house. If you respected me, you'd ask me first if I was okay with this. It's a little weird for me to have you hang out with girls who work for you, especially since you had a thing with one of them. He told me there was nothing between the two of you and that you take care of her like a brother. I'm not stupid. I know there was something more. That was in the past. You put me in the same house as your ex, who is still in love with you. I mean, for real, you know that. You're not listening to me. I didn't like the fact that girls called you our king. I mean, I don't like to share, but I knew you wanted this, and I did it for you. Brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate, as well as Luana Alexandra Radu, a former police officer of the 7th Precinct, and Georgiana Nagel were remanded in custody 2 days before the new year after being accused of having accused of having, in 2021, constituted criminal group organized to commit crime of human trafficking in the territory of Romania. We already covered all that. And the victims were later transported to and housed in buildings in Ilfov County, where they, by exercising acts of physical violence and mental coercion through intimidation, constant surveillance, control, and invoking alleged debts, they were sexually exploited by the group members by forcing them to do pornographic manifestations with a view to the production and dissemination through social media platforms. Also, Andrew Tate's stance keep crying that the U.S. Embassy in Romania set him up as a part of some conspiracy. Here's his own lawyer explaining that the Tate brothers immediately requested and were granted U.S. consular assistance after being arrested. I love that the American system.
It was weird. It's like I saw a clip. I don't think I could find it right now. But I saw a clip of Asmongold saying, originally, he might have changed his position, originally saying that he thinks it's a 50% chance that this is all set up. Like, how fucking crazy is that?
Is so powerful that, like, even if you had an American passport at a certain point, even if you're from fucking Gary, Indiana, it doesn't matter. Even if you're like genuinely arrested on like decent charges after like a long ass fucking investigation, the American consulate, the American embassy will still protect you as an American citizen. Okay, Uncle Sam does not give a fuck. God damn, brother, that's crazy. Okay. They're like, oh, you were doing sex trafficking in Romania? Well, guess what? They fucking suck. That's Romania. We will protect you. Well, it wouldn't be the first time the State Department used a sex trafficker. Maybe that's the new Jeffrey Epstein. You know, we've all been wondering who the new Jeffrey Epstein is. Will he remain in the shadows or will he be prominent? If Andrew Tate gets out of prison easily in Romania and starts operating in American jurisdiction, there you have it. You will have your answer. Andrew Tate says he has a lot of respect for the Ugandan theocratic warlord Joseph Kony. Both of Andrew Tate's judges are female, but it was no effect. Their lawyer. Oh, dude. Okay. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, they're women. He's going to complain about a bias, though. He's going to be like a fucking baby about everything.
Both of his fucking judges are women. Oh, that's awesome. Fight him? First of all, I have said this already. Andrew Tate is a professional kickboxer. I like, there is no, like, I would not win that fight.
Yeah, why would you fight him? Like, I don't understand. People are so cringe with that. Oh, why don't you fight the person? Why would you fight the person? That's not really how we conduct ourselves in society. It's fucking childish.
I don't know why some of you dumb ape-brained idiots think that that is alone for him to be the champion then. Also, how am I going to fight him? You want me to go to fucking Romania and like get myself in prison? You want me to go commit crimes in Romania so I can be in prison so we can have a fucking bare knuckle brawl in prison? Is that what you want me to do? Yeah, let me just drop everything. That's not going to change the reality that he is a rapist and a sex trafficker. You know what I mean? That's not going to change anything. You know that, right? Like, I know how much you want to feel like might makes right, but first of all, by those standards, I still beat your fucking pasty little ass. Okay, so remember that. Just because like a professional kickboxer, I admit that professional kickboxer could beat my ass, doesn't change the reality that, like, you know, you can. You're just a fan of his. You don't have the Bugatti. You don't even have the fucking sex trafficking ring that he has. You have nothing. You're just a guy on the internet repeating what he says, thinking that that makes you him. You are not him. So just remember that. Why do autistic people always want to fight you?
Oh my God. Hey, that's ableist.
It's because they don't have the good kind, okay? Like being interested in city planning, trains, that sort of thing. And they have the bad kind.
The bad kind of
which is being interested in 4chan and poll memes and thinking that that is a good substitute for a personality.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, certainly an interesting watch. Jesus.
Okay.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.